Okay, I think we are live already. So we are here together with Erika Ruiz and me, Kinga Staszalek, and we will be having a real live conversation about our transformation as well as our challenges in our life and how we became strong and free women. And the whole idea of creating this live chat is mm, also talking about strong and free women, because me and Erika, we are both the author, one of authors of Strong and Free Women's Book. It's a multi-author book from women around the world who broke up with the society expectations so they can live their happy and free, successful life. So welcome, welcome. I'm so pleased to talk to you with Erika because I read a little bit about your story, and I know you are a writer, you have your own book, and I'm really amazed by your story. But let first introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, so everyone listening can know exactly what you do and how they connect with you.
Sure. Thank you so much, Kinga, for having me here today. I really appreciate you. And yes, definitely. Again, my name is Erika Ruiz, and I'm a teacher, an author, a publisher, and now a founder to Strong Family Bond and nonprofit. It's 501(c)(3). And so I've written a few books, several books actually. I wrote 13 books in total,
Mm,
10 children's
impressive.
books. Thank you. Yeah, I have 10 children's books, and then I have 3 adult healing journals. And I'm actually in the process of publishing a new book and being a part of the Strong and Free. And so I'm really excited about that. And you can always connect with me through my website at strongfamilybond.com. It was just perfect because my website is strongfamilybond.com, and we're publishing with Strong and Free
Yes.
book. So
This is
it
not
was
a
perfect.
coincidence.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Mm,
So I'm really excited about this chapter actually,
mhm,
and to know that I'm publishing with other powerful authors, and I'm just glad to be a part of this.
mhm.
And yeah, I'm really excited for it. So what was the other question again?
Where are you from?
Okay, yeah. So I was born and raised in the city of Los Angeles.
Mhm,
I currently live in Silver Lake. Both my parents are born and raised in Mexico.
mhm.
So we are Mexican Americans, and they came over here to follow their, American dream. So yeah, that's where I'm from.
Thank you so much for introducing yourself. I know your story because we had a chance a little bit to connect before with Erika, and today we want to talk about very important and actually kind of difficult topic for many people, but it's something that we both resonate and we want to share our message because it's very important. It really mark our life in a good way and also negative way, but the most important is the message that we transform and we help um, ourselves. So it's also the message for others that no matter what happened to you, there is a hope and you can change. And the wound that we got in our life, and maybe you watching us, you also feel you have it, you can transform it into your gift, right?
Right.
And that's the beauty despite the pain that we felt. So me and Erika, we talk about our wounds from the childhood, especially the mother approaches that we experience. So Rika, could you first share with us what happened to you and how you were able, to change it? Because the most important, you are strong and free woman right now. You really a leader, and you are example not just for adults but also for kids. You writing a kids book, and you creating this beautiful organization. So it's the I see it like a whole, combination of not just adults but the whole family, and the family is the foundation, yes,
Right.
of everything. So share with us first what was the challenges and how you were able to overcome it.
Yeah. So, first of all, just the title and topic of what we were writing about, which is how we divorced ourselves from society's expectations, that to me really caught my attention, because not too many people talk about this, and for myself, that's what I like to talk about. I like to talk about things and publish about things that are not really talked about and are kind of hidden under the rug, and people just don't want to touch the subject because, like you said, it can be hurtful, it can be challenging, and a lot of times we can stay stuck on those conversations based on the experiences of what we faced in life growing up during childhood. I would say, based on my own experience, I would say my parents didn't come understanding the ways of raising a child, and um how can I say that? Sorry, it just kind of went away.
That's
But
okay. I know what you mean. Like, and like, the word that comes to my mind is that
yeah,
we don't like to say that it was wrong, but it wasn't also right. And
right,
I learned that based on my experience that there are some strong words that we don't like to use. Like, we don't want to hurt ourselves maybe, or hurt our parents, but we need to confront with the truth and claim the truth, speak up and
right,
say
right.
what happened. And what happened was, like, for me, the keyword is it was dysfunctional.
Exactly. That was the word I was trying to look for. And what I really wanted to say is that my parents back then, they didn't know any better. And
Mm,
so the only ability they did have was to either raise their voice or even spank us once in a while here and there, right? And although we can say it's abusive, um, or it was a type of teaching us something, right? Like educating us somehow.
through
And
abuse.
exactly. And that was so confusing growing up.
Mm,
And it can be something that can be very damaging and very, very traumatizing for a child, right? And so growing up with those pains and it pains, confusion, and rebellious. And it just all converted into like living a life of not really understanding.
mm,
And so that created anger and resentment within myself and with others. And so growing up, I feel like I took that out in the world, and I took it out on people, my brothers, my sisters, and those that care about me. um, but the good thing is that what I can see now is that there's always a positive side to things that we go through in life.
mm,
So although we go through challenges in life and we go through experiences that affect us right at the moment, it's like we have the ability and power to look at the bright side of it. Although it doesn't always seem that way at the time, but there's always a bright side about it. And if there's not, think of something, right? Like come up with the reason of what. because even after everything I feel that I've gone through, and even writing about this on my chapter really brought a lot of clarity and healing into me.
Mhm.
And I can say now that it's part of my past, and I embrace it and I love it because it's made me to become the powerful person that I am today, and the free woman that I am today. So I've learned based on those experiences, and I've just learned to really embrace them
Mhm.
rather than complain about them.
Beautiful. Yes,
Hmm.
I love it so much, and I can relate to that. And I have another question already about your chapter because it's related to what you're saying. I just want to add to that so we can have a nice conversation about it. That in my family it was lots of violence as
Hmm.
well, and I wasn't. I wasn't rebellious child. I was actually very good child. I was using my voice, and because I was using my voice, I was punished for that, for speaking
Oh,
my truth. But I wasn't allowed to argue. I wasn't allowed to be rebel because I grew up in very conservative family. When there was a curfew, when there was like taking care of younger brothers. And for me it show up in a sadness and
mhm.
pleasing people actually
People
later on.
pleasing.
Yes, I was a master in pleasing people. But let's come back to a little bit to the childhood as well before we start to share more of our story of the book. That I agree, it's not the time to actually blame our parents because they didn't know better. And I
Right,
see that even right now that they did everything they could. It's up to us what we're going to do with our life, how we're going to change so we can be better. And
right.
we both decided, me and you, and other women also from this book, that no, we
Mhm.
going to actually prove ourselves that we are worthy, we are strong, we are free.
Right,
We don't have to follow family expectation, society expectation, cultural expectations.
right.
And
It's like we get to break that cycle.
that's right, exactly. And break that cycle in this life.
Hmm.
So our future generation can be free as well from all of that.
Exactly.
But I want to hear about, because I know already a little bit, I didn't read the chapter because it's not revealed yet.
Right.
But you mentioned that for you it was that anger that show up later
Mhm.
in your life. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, so I guess I could say for yourself, you said you were very outspoken. And for myself, I was the opposite. I wasn't allowed to speak up or
Mm,
complain. I had to be quiet about it. Or if I got a spanking, I had to, well, actually, I would show that I wouldn't, that it didn't hurt me. So the more I showed it didn't hurt me, the more I got it.
mm,
And so that was really tough to understand even growing up. And so I would say in my perspective, it really got me to rebel, with the world and with friends around me. So I eventually ended up getting involved in gangs and drinking heavily. That led to skipping school, lying, having to steal to survive,
mhm.
to get clothing behind my back. And so, living out there on the street life, you just meet people that are in the same space that you are.
Yes.
Whether they've been abandoned, they've been abused, taken advantage of. And so, you meet and talk to a lot of people that are in the same um, place that you were in.
On the
And
same
so,
page.
yeah, so I've learned that a lot of these mental illnesses that lead to drug addictions, a lot of these people have been vulnerable children that grow up to suffer, the ability of feeling love, the ability of feeling wanted, respected. And so that's one thing that I did learn out there. And for myself, it just led to drugs, and it led into hurting myself,
Mhm.
and pretty much overdosing at one point, where I just I lost a lot of my ability, and
Mhm.
I lost myself and who I was.
Mhm.
And so that's what happened with me. But although I continued to be angry for a very long time, it's like I ended up damaging my own self,
Yes.
and I didn't realize that. I feel like it took me a very long time to actually understand that, and
Mm.
to come to a space where I can say, hey, I'm a human person, and I deserve better, and I deserve to give myself that. So rather than looking for it in other places or with drug addictions or alcohol, I said, I get to give this to myself, and I get to do for myself what I really want for myself. And what do I love? Like, what does Erika really love? And I tell people, like, ask yourself, like, what do you really love? What do you really want to do in life? We only get one life, and it's like, what are you really going to do with that life? You can do whatever you want. And I know this sounds crazy to say, hey, you could even be a president of the United States, but it's so possible, because once you set your mind into something and you really want to do it, then now you get to take action towards it, and make it happen. And really, I tell people, share your story. Everybody has a story. Your story matters, and you never know who you're going to impact. You never know who you're going to
Yes.
really save.
Yes.
And I was very embarrassed about my life for a very long time. And but now I get to share it with the world, because I don't know who I'm going to support. I don't know who I'm going to save, and who's going to say, "Hey, I can relate to that and I'm not alone."
That's right. And
Hmm.
you saying about very important topic that it's shameful for many people, and
Right.
you saying that loudly, and
Mhm.
claiming that that's like, no, this is not the label, this is just the
Mhm.
episode in your life that you needed,
Right.
to experience, so we can become better, so you could become better. Yes, that's strong
Mhm.
and free. Women always see that whatever we experience in life, good or bad, it always shape us, and the
Right.
action that we take and what we're going to do with that, how we're going to reframe it, to change it, like to kind of like design in, we can make an art from any wound.
Right.
And
Exactly.
that's what I love about it. You mentioned that I was speaking up. I wanted, but I shut myself down very quickly, because after lots of not just verbal but lots of physical abuse, and being like smash and criticize on a daily basis, there was no compliments whatsoever. I just decided there is no point to be myself, to
Right.
survive. And we do all those things, different things, like you decided to go through like another journey, me with another. I still wanted to prove that I'm worthy, and I was compared always to my
Mhm.
older sister who was always better, and tried to reach that. And no matter what I did, I didn't feel good enough.
Mhm.
My journey was that I actually wanted to escape from home and find love, so I can feel loved
Right.
through another person. And that wasn't easy, because the first partner, despite I was ready for marriage, he cheated on me.
Mhm.
And then with the big ego, I said like, no, I can be better than that. But the big wound from the childhood and another experience caused so much pain that
Right.
I was sabotaging the next relationship by pleasing and trying to fit in
Right.
uh, most of my life, not being aware. And that's very interesting, as you said that as well, that we do things not being aware completely, like we
Right.
treat it. And that's the message for all of you listening and watching, that we do things and we treat it as something normal, but it's not normal. It's
Mhm.
unhealthy, it's toxic, and it's dysfunctional. And
Right.
we raising our voices to actually speak about things that shouldn't be normal, shouldn't be accepted, can't be accepted, because
Right.
we need to raise our standards, and by raising the standards we can be really strong and achieve
Mhm.
something in our life. I love what you said when, like, what Erika would love to do. That was the exact question that I asked myself on my healing journey. It's like, what I want to do in my life, when I knew I don't want to work in that field that I was working. I don't want to have the relationship that I was having. And I need to ask myself the question. And the answer was, I don't know. The
Right.
first answer was, I don't know, because if you haven't experienced the new things, yes, you don't know what are the possibilities. But knowing
Right.
that there is more than that. Yes, there is more
Exactly.
than that. And you and me, and probably so many people also know through that hope that there is more than that. And we can experience more, we can completely change. And that's
Right.
the drive that help us. I'm sure it helped you too, to really keep going and change the direction of our life.
Right.
Am I right with
It's
you?
definitely, yes, it definitely is. And like I want to mention that even for like the younger generation that might feel like they're trapped or that there's no way out,
Mm.
like we get to be that voice for them. And that's the way I see the new upcoming book come that's going to come out is that's going to be out there for the world and for the younger generations, for them to know that they're not alone and that there's always hope, that as long as you're still breathing on this earth, you
Mhm.
can do whatever you want. Every day that you open up your eyes, it's a new beginning. Like you get to start from nothing all over and just choose the life that you really want to live.
Yes, and sometimes we need to start from the beginning and
Mhm.
literally build our life from the scratch. For
Right.
me, that was the life experience when I moved to Australia from Poland, that building from the scratch everything. And
Mm.
it's rewarding. It's like I can
Right.
never go back to my old life,
Exactly.
even for $1 million or $10 million.
Yeah. Exactly. It's we learn from our experiences and then you get to a point in life where you know exactly what you want,
Mhm.
what works for you, what makes you feel good.
Yes. So I want to say that I'm really pleased to connect with Erika and be with her, one of the author in Strong and Free book,
Yes.
and invite everyone to read our book. The launch is 17th of December. It's this Friday, so very soon.
Yes.
We will be both posting lots of information to remind you, and we'll also add the link under this post
Mhm.
in a comment to give you the
Right.
link. It will be in the, I think it will be in the day of our launch. Uh, but what is important that the first day we are aiming to be a bestseller author.
Yes.
Yes, so
I
please
was gonna say
support
that we
us.
get to be bestsellers.
It would be so good to be bestsellers, for sure. So please support us. And also the money goes to charity. The
Yes.
money goes to the charity that actually help other women who want to be independent and create their business and create better life. So I love that it goes exactly to this charity.
Right.
But also it's a big thing to us, and
Mhm.
let's celebrate together. So Erika, thank you so much for this lovely chat, and we will definitely will be in touch.
Thank you, Kinga, for having me here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, lovely. Bye.
Bye bye.